I was born in communist Russia, where freedom wasn't the right. It was contraband. We passed around photocopies of books like it was drug deals. 1984, Dr. Zhivago. Thin gray pages that smelled like cheap ink and fear. If the wrong person saw you reading them, you didn't get canceled. You, poof, disappeared. Opportunity lived behind closed doors, and technology lived behind closed borders. And still, one door cranked open for me. I was broke in college, cold, and working for an American company. And at the end of that office sat something that I never seen before in my life. A computer. Not slick, not friendly, just a black screen with white letters blinking at me like it was a dare. My hands were shaking when I touched the keyboard. In my world, if you screwed up, you got punished. And I still touched the keyboard. A letter appeared instantly. My employee expected me to figure it all out. No training, no manuals, just a keyboard and a computer. Like it was saying, go ahead, try again. So no one was there to teach me, so I taught myself. And that rewired my brain. At first, I just explored. I pressed every single button again and again. And then at night, I typed my college dissertation on that machine, alone, terrified, unstoppable. That machine did something interesting for me. It gave me permission and access, and I treated it like a privilege. It didn't make me technical. What it did, it made me unafraid to try. And once you lose that fear, you could never get it back. A few years later, I immigrated to North America. I slept on a tiny sofa bed in a tiny studio apartment. I had 2 forks and 2 pans. I counted every single dollar. So when my tax refund hit, I didn't buy a bed. I didn't buy clothes, and I didn't even splurge on a tropical vacation. Guess what I bought? A computer. Huge, gray, and a sea tower. Remember those ones? Ugly, loud, heavy. I carried it up 3 flight of stairs like it was my key to my future. The neighbors were laughing. It was a spectacle to them. They didn't see what I saw. At night, I explored again. And then I gave myself another permission to stop consuming the technology and start building with that. I became a builder. And boy, oh my God, I was so bad. I broke programs, I deleted files, and I wrote code so bad, it should be illegal. Night after night, my tiny apartment glowed blue. Forms, manuals, and a belief in me building. And once you realize that you can build, you cannot erase it. And that belief set my entire career in motion. In the next 25 years, I ideated 24 patents. I built technologies that I couldn't imagine a girl from Russia could touch. I led teams at the highest level of telecom. I created new market categories. Not because I was brilliant, but because early on in my life, I had access, and then I gave myself a permission to start asking, what can I build? After working for big companies and in startups, I did eventually what every builder does. I founded my own startup. So in the winter of 2025, when I was talking to business leaders about AI, I wasn't looking for excitement. I was looking for friction. And what I didn't realize, that in this day and age, with AI, all those business owners were facing the same problem that I faced decades earlier. Not the lack of ambition, not the lack of innovation, but lack of access. Back then, access was controlled by the government. Today, access for those business leaders is controlled by disconnected systems. And they were not businesses stuck in the past. They were not cut out of technology. They actually were surrounded by it. CRM, IT tools, payroll, email, tools that they pay for every single month. And still, every single conversation with those business leaders ended the same way. They would rub their eyes, they would lean back, and they would say, Eugina, you are absolutely right. I don't know what's going on in my business. And this is what I realized. They admitted to me that they tried AI. And AI only made it worse for them. Because now they had disconnected tools and AI on top of them. And here's the part I don't glamorize. When I decided to build my company, I went to what was comfortable to me. Telecom, wireless, real-time insights, AI-enabled systems. Because in that world, in telecom, you always build for real-time insights. Because when networks fail, millions of us feel it. What I heard from business leaders was different. They were dreaming about AI-enabled systems and decisions they can trust. And then I reconnected with Helen. She is a wonderful startup founder. I admire her a lot. Smart, intelligent, and very disciplined. She was getting ready for her Series A raise. Real stakes, real customers, and of course, real pressure. She opened up her computer and shared her screen. 6 tabs and 2 AI tools. She laughed. Give me a second, Eugina, please. Nothing of it agrees. And this is when it hit me. Helen wasn't confused. Helen wasn't behind. Helen was doing exactly what we ask smart operators like her do every single day. Move data from one system into another, copy-paste data from this system into this one. And of course she tried AI, and she ended up in the same mess. Because this is the truth we don't want to admit. AI didn't eliminate the busy work. AI only multiplied it. Because AI was never built for the systems that didn't talk to one another. It wasn't lack of Helen's leadership. It wasn't lack of her effort. It was technology breaking its promise to Helen. And I couldn't unsee it. Even MIT research shows that majority actually, AI pilots in enterprise fail. And again, it's not because people don't want AI, they do. Helen was where I once was. Smart, capable, and dealing with systems that wouldn't help her. And once I realized that, I knew I was building for the wrong audience. Telecom didn't need me. Helen did. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. So now, when I talk to business owners and they tell me they don't know what's going on with their business, I get them. I see myself, a smart, curious girl in communist Russia, typing her dissertation on that machine and then carrying that computer up 3 flights of stairs. Because innovation has never been about algorithms. Innovation has been always about giving ordinary people superpowers. And once I realized that, I decided to be that bridge. Not by teaching business owners to code, of course not, but by building with them and for them. Because I was giving them the permission that the system gave me years before. Permission to build, permission to learn, permission to build their companies on their terms. They're too busy growing their companies, managing kids and emails and invoices and decisions that never stop coming. They don't have the time for 6 tabs and 2 AI tools. AI is not going to be written by a few people that build it. It's going to be written by the many ordinary people like you and me that will use it for real needs. 35 years ago, someone put a computer in front of a girl that never seen it before. That changed the direction of my life. Everything I build from now on, it's about putting the same power in the hands of those business leaders. Because innovation has never been about technology itself. Innovation has always been about giving power in making ordinary people supermen and superwomen. And that's the path that AI needs to take. Thank you.